Welcome to Financial Confidence for High-Achieving Women, the go-to podcast for women of color entrepreneurs overwhelmed by their finances and ready to transform their money mindset, take control of their money, and build sustainable wealth. I'm your host, Taryn, better known as T-Money, certified financial coach and CEO of Money Honey LLC. I believe that abundance is your birthright and that good money management doesn't mean cutting out the joy from your life. Stick around to learn how you can build intentional money habits that align with your biggest lifestyle goals. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome to episode 38 of the Financial Confidence for High-Achieving Women podcast. I'm your host, Taryn, better known as T-Money, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm breaking down one of my signature programs, the Rich to Wealthy Collective. Because a lot of you listening already make good money. You're smart, you're disciplined, you're high-achieving, but you still feel like, why am I starting and stopping with my finances? Why do I know what to do but don't actually do it? Why am I earning six figures but not building wealth yet? So this episode is going to walk through why I created the collective, how it works, and the transformation you can expect. So you can decide if this is for your next level. Let's get into it. I created the Rich to Wealthy Collective because when I was building wealth myself, I didn't have a space to talk honestly about money. I was ambitious, still am, okay? I had big goals. I was the first in my family earning more money than anyone I knew, but there was nowhere to talk about it without experiencing judgment, I had a little bit of a fear of investing at first and impulse spending, after working so hard. I had some anxiety about losing it all, and I really wanted the luxury life and financial security. I am a Taurus after all. Um, my clients were feeling, the same thing as I began to work with more and more high achieving women, high earning women. They were like, yeah, I don't have a space where I can openly talk about, money and like the big goals I have without really experiencing the judgment. But then also, I don't have a place where I can learn what to do now that the earning money and the having, some disposable income is a regular thing for me. And so I wanted to create the space. Like most of my things, most of my programs and projects and whatever, y'all, as you probably figured out, especially if you've been in my world for a while, are created from things that I wish I had when I was at that particular space. And I wanted the collective to be that safe, strategic, non-judgmental space for high-achieving women to turn income into wealth, because wealth is not just about the money that you have. It truly is the life that you're creating, how you are utilizing that money and, living the life that you want. And the transformation really with the Rich to Wealthy Collective is going from anxious saver to confident wealth builder, going from impulsive spending to intentional spending, and going from isolation to community with wealth-minded women. And, we're not just learning about money. We are really learning to trust ourselves with it. And this spreads into so many different areas of your life. And I've even personally seen how, as I became more financially confident, I was able to, take those bigger risks. I was able to like pursue the big dreams and, do the things that I was really excited about, go travel as often as I wanted. And I was also able to show up in different areas too of my life and feel like, you know what, I learned how to do this with money. I can do this here. I became a better leader as I started to build the confidence in, my own finances. I felt more comfortable speaking up in different rooms, like I started to be more intentional with who I wanted to surround myself with and, setting boundaries around how I want to be treated and how I get to be treated. And I know that money was the catalyst to that, and learning how to utilize money was a catalyst to that. So what sets the Rich to Wealthy Collective apart is that, most money programs are missing one of three things. They're missing the real financial strategy, the mindset and trauma informed work, or the community accountability. And the Rich to Wealthy Collective blends all three of those because, truthfully, a lot of my clients aren't beginners. They are six-figure earners who need a realistic wealth plan, who like need that support rewiring money habits, and who desire a community that understands their level of ambition and also wants that holistic approach to money and to wealth. We're tired of, the anxiety that can come with finances and the financial decisions that they're making. And so there are very few spaces designed specifically for high achieving women navigating their first real wealth building phase, I'll even say. And for some women, there's, that it's the second wealth building phase. But either way, you're in a phase where you are stepping into that next level and you want that support and that guidance to get there. And that's the gap that this collective fills. Now, let's talk about the process. Inside the Rich to Wealthy Collective, we follow a guided curriculum designed to move you from financial confusion and anxiety and stress to financial confidence. And we have that structured path because it does help. And then there's also, of course, that there's flexibility within that. As I am working with a group, I'm able to intuitively pick up on where we need to have more focus and, really tailor the experience to that. And at the high level, we focus on three pillars. So there's clarity, like understanding your numbers, goals, and money story; alignment, so building a plan that supports your real lifestyle; and embodiment, which is like rewiring your habits so your behavior actually matches the goals that you have. And inside that, we're going to move through some, I'd like to say they're like themed months. So we're going to move through some of these. So in month one is financial safety and nervous system regulation. So we're moving from survival mode to safety with money. We're going to really focus on understanding personal money stress responses. So that's your nervous system responses: flight, fight, freeze, fawn; regulating before making financial decisions; releasing shame and hypervigilance; creating enoughness signals in everyday life. Month two, we're going to move into financial clarity and aligned systems. So this is all about knowing where your money is going without spiraling. And we're going to focus on simple money tracking that fits real lifestyles, identifying leaks versus intentional spending, automations that reduce mental load, clarity without perfectionism, which is, perfectionism, that is what prevents your progress. So we're going to get into that. Month three, we are focused on self-worth, receiving, and capacity expansion. So letting yourself have the money you're working for. The areas we're focusing on here are going to be overspending after wins, difficulty holding higher balances, guilt around having more money than family or friends, and then overgiving and over receiving, which is a big thing. Month four, we focus on intentional spending and lifestyle alignment. So this is building wealth without hating your life. Amen. And the focus areas here are values-based spending, designing a lifestyle that supports long-term wealth, eliminating shame around pleasure because you deserve it. Okay, you are worthy of it. Choosing luxury with intention, not impulse. And month five, we are focused on wealth building strategy and future planning. So we're moving from saving to actually building. And at this point, you trust yourself enough to start making long-term moves. And so we really get to build up to this point. Our focus here is investing readiness. So we're talking emotionally as well as practically, retirement versus other wealth vehicles, risk tolerance and personal strategy. And we are releasing that fear of doing it wrong. Okay. Month six, which is our last month of the program, is expansion, leadership, and legacy. And this is wealth as power, choice, and impact. And this is where we're going to focus on stepping into financial leadership, generational thinking, giving, investing, and impact, and modeling wealth differently for others. Once we take care of ourselves, we can take care of others. And so this program really sets you up to do that as we move through the curriculum, which I am really excited about. And, just know that throughout the program, you're implementing in real time. So you'll have the coaching, you have the accountability and community support because capacity is built in motion, not waiting. So some benefits for signing up: when women join the collective, they experience confidence making big financial decisions, a clear plan to invest and build wealth, peace of mind knowing where their money is going, freedom from shame around past money mistakes, support from women who understand their ambition. Plus, you get access to experiences like a ticket for the Rich Bish brunch and special pricing for the Rich Bish retreat, because community and real life connection accelerate your transformation. So this is how you stop second guessing, you stop avoiding your accounts, and you start building wealth intentionally. So if this episode resonated with you, if you're tired of doing this alone, if you're ready to turn your income into real wealth, apply for the Rich to Wealthy Collective using the link in the show notes. Spots are limited because I want to keep this community intimate and high touch, so that way we are really able to facilitate that transformation. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you saw yourself in this episode, that's not a coincidence. You're not behind. You are ready for the next level of support. And again, you can join the Rich to Wealthy Collective using the link in the show notes to apply. I would love to coach you inside this powerful community of high-achieving women building real wealth together. If this episode helped you, share it with a friend, tag me on Instagram at HeyTMoneyHoney, or leave a review so more women can find these conversations. Until next time, keep trusting yourself, keep building your capacity for abundance, and remember, you are allowed to be rich and wealthy. I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Financial Confidence for High Achieving Women podcast. I hope the insights shared in this episode have inspired you to take one small action step toward a more empowered relationship with money. If you're ready to take control of your finances like the Rich Bish you are, I invite you to book a 90-minute Organize Your Money Honey intensive with me. You'll walk away with a crystal clear financial plan, a budget you'll actually stick to, and actionable steps to start saving and investing faster. Head to the link in the show notes to book your spot. I'm so grateful to be part of your financial journey, and I can't wait to see all the incredible moves you'll make. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.